Alright, Tuesday stream again, this time with the remaining discard generics, along with some dual nation cards and reprints, so let's begin. But first, a card from a demonstration fight called Azure Sky and White Scales, Aspornia and Saphiria, this time being Cater and Stokeia. Grade 2, tank your power and the skills. Auto, when placed on rearguard from hand other than during battle, look at top card deck, put it from either to the top or discard it. Both key things for Cater and Stokeia, it could either be milled or leave to the top, which is the Cater part. Then you can counterblast one and perform one of the following abilities. Choose a normal order from the drop zone and put it back to the hand, or choose a grade 2 or greater unit from the drop zone and call it to rearguard, which is mainly Stokeia here with the drop zone part, but overall pretty decent, especially giving more options for Cater to call from the drop zone. Since Cater, the only way to call from drop zone right now is through Raziel, or in some cases just recycling, so being able to just call from drop zone is just very helpful since a lot of Cater decks just don't do that. And for Stokeia, this is just overall pretty good. And now we go to the Dokkovan stream itself. Starting off with the reprints. Here are the legal reprints, and we got more, this time actual good reprints and definitely needed, like Prison Roaming Dragon. Just so happy they finally reprinted that. We still need Inlet Pulse, but these reprints are pretty decent so far. And now to the generics. Our first one is Stokeia, the elusive Winged Dragon Pajarmja, which has the same stats of all the other ones of grade 1 AP power, same second skill where when another card is discarded from hand while this card is on rearguard drop, you can cause and draw 3 and remove this card to choose one of the discarded cards to put it back to the hand, with the unique ability where auto when placed on rearguard, if your Vanguard's grade is less than or equal to your opponent's Vanguard's grade, discard up to one card from the top card of your deck and plus 2 keep pounding at a turn. I mean, this is okay to mill the top card of your deck, but there's so many other Stokeia cards that can do that but better. At most, it's the drop zone ability of discards, but other than that, I wouldn't exactly say this is good to run in many Stokeia decks. And then for the lyrical version, which is Sea Song Dragon Alestino, yes, another lyrical dragon, same stats, same second ability, so ignoring that, but the unique part is auto when placed on rearguard, if your Vanguard's grade is less than or equal to your opponent's Vanguard grade, this card gives us 2k power, and you played an order this turn, you can soul charge 1 or energy charge 1. So this one has a different part where it gets the 2k power by default, but you have to play an order for the bonus ability. Yes, there are a lot of lyrical decks that plays with orders, but there's also a good number that don't, so it all depends on the deck as well. And finally, Darkbond, Abyss, Surga, and Durgage, which is a grade 2 with taking power, and it's the dual nation of Darkstate and Brandt Gate with the skill auto. When placed on rearguard from hand other than during battle, look at the same number of cards from the top cards of your deck as set orders in your order zone plus 1. So if you have 0, you can still look at the top card of your deck, choose a card from among it, put it to soul. If you look for at least 2 cards from the top, cost counterblast 1, perform one of the following. Choose a grade 2 or greater unit from soul and put it to hand, or choose a set order from soul and put it in hand. I have to say, yes, you can technically get a free soul charge with Darkstate, not like other nations don't have this, and it's kind of a counterblast 1 to get a +1 from soul, but I have to say this works probably better for Brandt Gate because Brandt Gate has set orders and Darkstate has one set order that you can try to tech in, which is in the same set. But in that, I can only say this is definitely better in Brandt Gate since you can peek as many cards equal to the order count and then basically get another +1 on top of it. And there are definitely occasions where you're going to be soul charging those set orders, especially if you're playing Vanguard, where Vanguard wants to use those strategies by sucking them to soul. So that's it for the new dual nation cards and the remaining generics. What do you guys think of it? The generics are just generics, although this is probably weaker than most of the other generics since for these nations, probably less usage for their decks, although lyrical, it just depends. As for the dual nation cards, once again, it just depends on what deck you play it in, but they are very generic that you can actually use it in so many different decks in either nation. Although I would argue the Darkstate Brandt Gate one is better off in the Brandt Gate variations rather than Darkstate. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.